I mean, obviously, if we don't get this deficit problem under control and on a way to being solved, you will inherit this problem. And so we need to desperately get our fiscal house in order.
Right now, the current administration, the Obama administration, has a $16 trillion in debt. That's $50,000 for everyone in America. And what's important is, quite frankly, we need to get our economy going so there's jobs and opportunities, especially for college grads. You know, one of the most frustrating things for me is I saw a statistic that said 50% of people with a Bachelor of Science degree who are under 25 are unemployed or underemployed. And so we have to control this deficit spending, getting our economy going, you know, so there's career jobs for college graduates.
Now, the one thing that I do talk a lot about is student loans. We can't saddle you with debt. I don't know if you saw, there was an article this morning in the paper talking about this huge leap in student debt. Right now, student debt exceeds consumer credit card debt in this country. And it is an albatross around young people's neck. We need to figure out ways that we can refinance debt at higher rates, ways that we can offer lower interest rates on the debt, and ways that we can reduce the cost of higher education.
I spent 26 years representing a college district here in North Dakota in the North Dakota legislature. So, you know, the ability to keep tuition reasonable, but also to have ways for students to borrow money if they need it to get their degree. I mean, those are critical things. You know, you talked about Obamacare, and one of the problems in Obamacare is we had a student loan program in North Dakota at the Bank of North Dakota, and it was taken away from the Bank of North Dakota, away from North Dakota, to try and help fund Obamacare. And so we need to get back, we need to have more control at the state level, because at the state we can have programs that will help students, you know, cover the cost of education. But the fundamental thing is we need good jobs when you graduate.
The Affordable Care Act let young people stay on their parents' health insurance until the age of 25. It's been hugely valuable and hugely important for so many students and so many young people who reach that age where otherwise they'd be kicked off health insurance. Two things. Number one, we need to reduce the cost of health care. Healthcare in America is almost 18% of our gross domestic product, and it's almost twice what we pay in other countries. By the end of this decade, if we don't do a better job, it'll be 20%. We can't afford it. You can't afford it as somebody who potentially is going to be paying for your health care, and this country's economic future can't afford that kind of health care cost. So we need to do the things that you and I believe in, which is keep people healthier. Do everything that we can to further reduce our smoking rates. Do everything that we can to curb diabetes and deal with chronic disease.
I will vote to repeal Obamacare. I think that it's a $1.7 trillion takeover of our healthcare system. It'll put government right between you and your doctor. Terrible problem. It also was intended to lower costs, and it actually increased the cost of health care. It hurts our seniors. It takes $716 billion out of Medicare, and it creates this board of bureaucrats that are going to make decisions on health care coverage for our seniors. And so, you know, one of the things the agency does is I think they've used this Health Care Act to take away some religious freedoms as well.